If you would like to do a continuation of those lines to create longer phrases, you could sort of make the ending into just a way to turn the phrase in the middle of a line and then continue. And essentially what it involves is playing, I'll be in the key of C now, playing over a G7 or D minor to G7. You could put the what we called the phrase ending in those previous videos. Go ahead and add the 2 extra notes and it becomes the long ending. Whenever you put the 2 extra notes on, that one falls onto a beat. Now that's the root of your dominant chord, and it falls onto a beat. So if you wanted to just use that as a starting point to continue up or down, you can just ascend the scale at that point or descend. But when you descend from that note, because this note is on a beat, you have to put the chromatic passing tone back in between the root of the dominant 7 and the 7th, or the flat 7 of the dominant 7. So you might have a phrase, I'll start on the 3rd of the chord and come down and I'll continue. I could do that from the top. When you move up to shape 6, starting on A, and again we're in the key of C, and our dominant chord is G7. So the G7 chord does not include the notes A and C, which are the lower and the upper note of this particular shape. So we will probably start on one of these 2 Bs that is on the outer string, either of the outer strings. Put that note onto a beat, 2 and 3 and 4 and... if you wanted to go on down to the root. In the next shape, or next fingering, we're in C and we're using shape 7 because we start on B, and from that B, which is a chord tone of our G7, we could ascend from that note, and we would have this 3, 4. So on. The next shape would be in the key of C, again over our G dominant 7. We would have shape 2, so we start right on that particular 2, which is the 5th of our G dominant 7 chord, and it sounds like this. The next shape would give us this particular spot on the neck. Starting on E, which is the 3rd of my key, C major, that note is not in the 5/7 chord. So. And so forth. Using the other change of direction that I said you might hear in a Pat Martino line, you would have these different things all in the key of C, C major. So starting on the root of our 5/7 chord. Starting on the 3rd of our 5/7 chord B, again I'm in shape 6. that, I played the other phrase ending, as I've been calling it. Now we'll be starting on the third of our dominant 7 chord. Starting on the 5th of our dominant 7 chord, we're now in shape 2. Starting on the F, and again we're in shape 3, but the third of the scale is not in the 5 chord. You might have something like this.